Welcome to Tim Sonner. Cybersecurity, networking, AI, and software development. Mwahahaha.
What is up? So today I wanted to go over Azure Linux 4.0, creating a container of Azure Linux. Because I saw that I was watching this video this morning, and they got some cool demos in here. It's at some conference, and then toward the end they're doing some engineering stuff. They got some engineering stuff, and then they mentioned right at the end, now available for general use, and I was like, what? So I thought that was pretty cool. So I looked it up, and I'd signed up for like their email alerts or whatever, however long ago, because I was interested in running this distro, just to do it. And I don't remember receiving the email, but after a little bit of the old Google search, I was able to locate an article on it, and I was able to follow this link, the GitHub RDP, and then down here somewhere there's a little drop down for container, and it gives this little magic line right here. And so I was like, okay, that's definitely like I can use Docker or Podman or WSLC to pull that down. So that is cool. There's also this other Microsoft documentation, specifically, for Azure or whatever. And I don't know, they're like, you can use it with WSL. I really don't care about WSL. I think WSLC is cool though. So I'm just trying to do it all with containers. This demo, by the way, is pretty good. Like, it's pretty legit. Like, they have some cool stuff that they demo in here. So the audio is garbage on it. I feel like, they pay these engineers hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I think that they could spend a little bit more on their mic setup at the conference. That's just my 2 cents and criticism on that. But so we have a new repo too. I haven't committed this yet, right? So what I did is I took lessons learned from the Hannah Montana deployment that we just did with the rescan of Debian Slim. That is so silly. I can't even believe I spent like as much time on that as I did. I learned a lot, but that was silly. It's still silly. So I have this brand new repo, and I have we set up a personal access token, and I have scoped it to that specific repo right here. You can see that. And then we have read and write. So we're good to go on that. I just wanted to show that, that's kind of what I've been doing, and kind of what I've also been doing since I hop workstation so often. It seems like, I'll do like the workstation and then the repo. So I can tell like at least which workstation is pushing to the repo at any given time. So I don't know. To me, that like makes tracking even easier. You could probably add like an agent in here if you really wanted to like scope it down further. But this is definitely good enough for me. And so yeah, let's go over to. And I also wanted to show off something cool with Copilot that I actually just found this out. I just thought it was really cool. So we have the repo here, right? If I do git status, we can see, I have a lot of the files. So, start wm.sh. So that's the other thing too. So we're going to be doing RDP into this container, right? So we're going to create a container. It's a cloud container. It's used for like server, right? Primarily, but we don't really care about that as much as like, I just want to throw a window manager on it and then just be able to be like, woohoo, we're inside and we're doing stuff. So that file is essential for that. Reconnect window manager is essential for that. And Docker Entrypoint is essential for that. We have a Dockerfile with some config stuff, but this is basically just like, we just kind of cloned a different repo, made some tweaks to it, and then we're about to push it back up. But I wanted to show this cool feature. So we can do like, git diff. And why doesn't git diff work? I also noticed that was kind of like bugging me last night. I was like, why is it not working? So this is a brand new repo. And I will figure that out, right? I'm going to have to figure out why that's not, and I'm sure it's something silly, like I'm just not giving it like a command or something like that. And I don't really know what this cache flag does, but it's not doing anything for me. So, but the cool thing is, right, so you can open up Copilot like in the repo, right? And I use Copilot a lot for like Git related stuff, right? Because it's GitHub Copilot. So it's going to know about Git. So if I have Git questions, I will ask it. And it works great. So yeah, what I can do is like diff here. And I just thought that this was really cool, right? So you can do that on the command line. And typically, like if I was running the command and it just like worked, then I would be like, okay, cool. But like this is so much more, in my opinion, user friendly. And I just thought it was like a really cool, part of Copilot. I was like, this is dope. This is a good way to look at diffs. I really like this. It's simple and it's just to the point. So definitely a cool feature. And like, even if you're not using like Copilot to like write code or whatever, it like is kind of they just have a nice diff GUI in here. And I think you can probably get into that without like doing a bunch of, tokens and buying stuff. I think this is likely free built in. So don't sleep on that. But let's get this pushed. So let's do git add. I'm going to add everything. And then I'm going to do git commits. And just say like initial commit. And then we'll do that, push that up. So this actually is interesting. So as you add like repos and fine-grained access tokens, it will like in Windows at least, right? So in Linux, you're using the GH package. And so you can usually do like GH auth login and it will, just kind of like magically log you in. Whereas like in Windows, it's a little bit different. The credentials are managed by command key. So like if you run into an issue to where you add a personal access token and it's not letting you push, you need to go nuke that credential in command key. So you do like command key list and then command key like remove and then do that specific one. But anyway, we're about to auth here again. Let's see, gish push, blah, 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 blah. Current branch has no upstream. Let's see. Yeah, we need to do that. And then we're going to do an access token. I have that here over on the other screen. I have that saved. Boom. We'll throw that in. And then, yeah, it should be good. That should be popping up on the old GitHub shortly. It's not already there. And then we will just follow this guide and see how good my agent was at building this from an already established repo. So build and run. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's check it out. We're already there in this directory. So we'll do, what is it? Build -t. What is -t? I don't know what that is. Let me ask real quick. What is -t flag in WSLC? And yeah, I've been using like MA1 or whatever / terminate. I should know that. Okay. So let's go back to the guide. So it's going to do terminates it, removes any leftovers. I think we can, yeah, let's just do this. So get there on that. So let's do it over in this window. That's the other thing too. Terminal has been really cool because you can actually color code a lot of the stuff and kind of like keep stuff kind of like organized, I guess. So I think it's kind of cool. Oh, it's Azure. And then, so yeah, it's pulling some stuff down. There was something else cool I wanted to show with WSLC. I just figured out how to do this today, and it's kind of cool. So I do WSLC. I think it's image list. You can see all the images that we've pulled down in the last few days, right? So a lot of these, like, I don't necessarily need, right? A lot of them are just like whatever we can get rid of. This one has the same image ID, and so what we're looking at is like image IDs, right? These are all the same. They're just different tags on them, so they're essentially the same image, but it's just different tags. But like these ones, I have no idea what these even are, and I know what these bottom two are. These bottom three are, but I just wanted to show that you can remove these by just using a few of these alphanumeric characters. And I actually found that out by watching the demo. I was like, oh, that's really cool. They didn't do the delete command, but like I was like, oh, I think you can do this. And then I was like, I wonder if you can do multiple at the same time. So it's actually like you can do WSLC, I think it's image remove. Yeah, let's do image remove, and then we'll do the first like 3015. And then 5AF. And we'll see if that works. And that's just, I just thought that was super cool. And super handy for like when you're trying to clean up, your images, you can remove multiple at the same time. So I don't know, kind of silly use case there. So looks like we finished that up. I don't see any red. I don't see any errors. So I think that everything ran, and so let's see where we're at. Let's see what's the next step here. And I probably need to add, I guess it does list the image, but I could put like the command to actually like pull that down, and I think it's just like, I think it's a run command. I actually think that this command will do it. And I think if you do WSLC run, and then instead of all this, you just put that. I might put that in. We'll see. Okay, so we'll try this one. I don't think that this exists. So I think this command is going to be like, this command is just making sure that, something like this doesn't exist already. And then I don't want to run it with the 2 gig. So I'm going to remove that part. That -m flag specifies the max amount of memory, I believe. This laptop has plenty, so I'm not too worried about it. So that looks like that's good. We can do WSLC. I think you do like PS-A was one of them that they were doing. And so you can actually see, running 11 seconds ago. Usually what I do is list. I do WSLC list and then -- all. So I'm wondering what the output difference is. I don't see any output difference. It's just that maybe these are just no, those are exited. So yeah, I don't know what the difference is between those commands, but yeah, very, very similar output. Okay, back to it. Let's see where we're at. I'm actually curious if I can just hit this right now, just without even like, I'm not even gonna look at the guide. I'm just gonna see if we can just, is it up and running? Let's do RDP. Why doesn't that come up as RDP? That's silly. So it's 2.2. Let's see if this actually, okay, that's pretty sweet. That's a good sign. And then I don't know what we put for the username. I think I said to use Azure user, and then Azure user. And I haven't received an error, so I didn't get a login error. I am clicking, and so far nothing. Sometimes it does take a minute, but we also might not have a functioning window manager. That is quite possible. Because yeah, like Azure Linux doesn't necessarily come designed for like GUI stuff. So, you know, we might need to install some more packages. We might need to do something like that, but we are at least able to potentially authenticate, and there's an RDP service running on this box. So let's see what else. Maybe we have some other stuff to do. Oh, and it might be because we didn't build yet. So we might need to build. So we ran it. That's a redundant command right there, right? It does that, and then it does that. So we've done those two. We've done that. And then, okay, so that's it. That's a pretty short repo here. So let's see what's going on. Is this still just nothing? So let's see if we can troubleshoot this a little bit. That's down at the bottom. Troubleshooting. Let's see. I don't see anything specific. Let's see if we can inspect that. Let's see, push that. That's if we want to push it. Let's see if this is. That might be it. And I'm thinking what I might do is just restart this thing real quick. And let's just see if that fixes it. So I'm going to do, let's see, WSLC, stop, I think we called it AZL, RDP. So that takes just a moment. And then we'll do start and just see if this clears it, and then go from there. And then there's like a command I can never remember. It's like mstsc something something something. And then it looks like still nothing on that. So what I'm going to do, and a lot of the workflows that I've been doing as well. So this agent over here is intimately familiar with the project. So we basically took the Hannah Montana Linux project. Well, and it was also based on an Arch container. Anyway, this is like the third repo, the third iteration of this workflow. So I'm going to say, okay, follow guide, machine is up, and serving RDP, but no user desktop visible. And this might be like a, you know, you might have to jump into it and do like DNF update or something like that. I mean, it could just, I'm thinking this is just some like packages are missing somehow. But this is a hell of a lot quicker than me trying to troubleshoot this. Like, it's a lot easier for me to just be, I don't even know what I was trying to say there because I read whatever that was saying. So I lost my train of thought, but this is way quicker to just troubleshoot this and then just get the answer, because this could be like a million different things. XFCE is running, but XRDP isn't using Fedora's. Oh, so it's using the start wm-bash from stock Fedora, not our script. And graphics encoding looks broken. So yeah, I wouldn't have figured that out. Like, not anytime soon. Maybe after like months of trial and error or something. Graphics.toml something. Debug socket is still. There was something about running systemd in containers, and I was like, I thought that was kind of interesting. The sub is running, client gets no frames because H264 points at the stub. Okay, so that is just fine. And system dbus is a stale socket, fixing both in the running container, then baking it into the image. So it looked like that just flew by too, but it said XRDP started, but not sesman, session manager. So what we're doing, XRDP and sesman are running, something about that. XRDP is listening. We kind of knew that because we can even, the fact that we can even connect to it says that that part is at least working. Only XRDP is running. Sesman is not. You need to start both. Yes, you do. So run force RFX only. What is RFX? Something about the graphics. And there's definitely some like weird stuff with graphics and containers that I have no idea on. Fedora now pulls no open H264 header. What is that? Yeah, what is that? Root cause XFCE was running fine. Windows never got frames. The log showed Fedora's XRDP prefers H264, but the image only has this other library. So it looks like it like fixed it, right? So yeah, let's give it a try. Let's just see if that works. Bueno. Okay, so we are there. I'm curious about that. What is that? XFCE PolicyKit agent. Nice. They give us like a cool little like background, I guess, of some rockets. That's exciting. We got XFCE running, and then let's see, is it these work? Got some non-working GUI stuff here. So let's troubleshoot this just a little bit. And when I say it, let's see if I close that out. I mean, I can click on these. Web browser. Okay, that actually works when I click on it. See if they included a web browser. Nothing. So that's a negative on that. I get into the terminal. And then, oh yeah, it's not apt. It's going to be a DNF update. So that'll pull some stuff down. So yeah, we are kind of mixing and matching a little bit. We have some like Fedora stuff. We have some Azure stuff. So I don't know. I feel like there might be a better way to do this. But just like proof of concept, this is pretty legit. But I do want to refine this ever so slightly because we got that PolicyKit error. So Nice work. We received a XFCE PolicyKit error pop-up. Troubleshoot that error. And then I wonder if it updated the repo. So here's another thing. So what we can do is we can kind of see like what the fix was too. Okay, yeah, so there's some changes, so that's good. So let's see what it changed to make that fix, right? So stale process ID files blocked restart. So I actually had this fix in the original repo, so I don't know why that didn't transfer over, but yeah, this is a known thing. Let's see. It made a few different directories. It didn't make those ones. That's not super interesting. And then let's see, what else do we do? Connection. So there's an if statement up here. So it looks like, based on the comments, system bus stale socket without a daemon causes connection refused and breaks the session helpers. So it put in a fix for that. I like that word, reap zombies. So cool. So there's definitely some things added. It added some things to the Dockerfile. So I'm actually surprised it didn't put this in originally, because, or maybe it did put it in originally. It was already there on that line, like our reconnect WM script and the other one. So anyway, let's see where that's at. PolicyKit can't build a session subject without login daemon. Container has no systemd process ID. Yeah, we're not running systemd. So, okay, XFCE PolicyKit fails because we're not running systemd. Okay, that makes sense. Applying live fix. PolicyKit lab rules. No policy. What did we do? Like, I hope it didn't just do like, we're going to hide the error. It typically won't do something like that, but like, I just want to make sure. Like, it's like, we fixed it. You're not getting an error anymore. Let's see. Fix. Let's see, what do we do? Okay, so it's something about the login session. So we had to have like some kind of a PolicyKit rules thing, and then just, let's see. I mean, curious what that 49 rule is. For PolicyKit, what does that do? What does that custom rule do? And why did we implement it? And that's just kind of like, I'm just curious on like, you know, what that implies, you know, like decides whether a user may do privileged desktop actions. Oh, so it just wants to know if, yeah, 49 prefix is only ordering, lower numbers run earlier, 49 sits near other distros. Yeah, I think we put Fedora at like 50 on the priority list in this. Okay, so if the user's in the wheel group, they can do system stuff. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Let's do this real quick. Close that window. Let's log out. Go connect. No error, and yeah, lovely. Looks decent for sure. So the other thing that I really like about this workflow, right? So the Windows key like works in here, right? It doesn't right now because we don't have anything set up, but if I do like what is it? Settings, keyboard, and then application shortcuts. And I think we do like app finder. So it has Alt F3 right now, but I want to do a different shortcut. So I think if I just hit OK, yeah, I'll be able to hit the super key. So let's see if this works. So failed to launch super, failed to execute child process, XFCE, app finder, no such file or directory. Let's see, I wonder if there's a package missing or something like that. And I doubt I'll get lucky with guessing this name. XFCE 4 dash app finder. Oh, we got to be sudo anyway. Root. And then dnf install XFCE 4 dash app finder. Oh, sweet. I lucked out. And let's see if this works now. Boom. App finder works. Look at that. So yeah, that's kind of what I like about this like Windows flow, right? Is I'm obviously in the Windows. Let me rephrase this. This is what I like about the Windows WSLC flow. You know, I'm in a Windows box right now. You know, I can hit the, you know, the super key and that pops up. You know, I can jump back over into here and, you know, the super key, I guess I have to have it probably maximized, but you know, the super key works in here. So pretty cool. And then the other thing that I really like too is copy and paste is pretty awesome to have on a desktop, right? So I can go over to here and I can say, wow, great job. And then, can you make sure we install, I can probably get rid of this install word, but I can control V that. And that was pasted from the Linux container we were just in. So, but missing from the fallback, adding it to both and installing it on the running container. Well, I mean, Yeah, I mean, you don't need to install it on the new. Don't need to. Okay, it just said that too. Like, so it was smart enough. Like, it was actually just way faster to me. I was gonna be like, you don't need to check it, and then I was like, I'll check if it's there or not. So already covered on the running container. Well, that's because I installed it. But yeah, so sweet. So I think that looks pretty good. You know, we can definitely do our diff again and just check that out. And see kind of what, you know, what did we change? What did we add? So we obviously like updated the guide a little bit. Let's see. So we have our entry point. I am less interested in this stuff right now because that's all working as it should be. This should mention that somewhere over here. See, make your, okay, no, that's just doing chmod, setting some permissions. This is doing that kind of hack for the graphics. It looks like for the XRDP session. And then let's see, what else do we have? Would that be in the Dockerfile? Boom, there it is. Yeah, that would be in the Dockerfile. So cool. That looks pretty good to me. I mean, I'm not like super tripping on this. It's working. Yeah, I think it's good. I think we're gonna roll with that. So we'll do let's see the files there. And then there's M, and so what do? We fixed PolicyKit. It was something about like login, window manager, like login, fixed stale sessions. And added XFCE 4-app finder to Dockerfile. And there we go. And there we go. So should be groovy. Let's see when this was. Just now. So yeah, pretty freaking awesome, really. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm super happy with this like workflow. It's been super fun to do this kind of stuff. It's been super fun using AI for like infrastructure stuff. So you know, these like sysadmin type things, I guess as like DevOps more than I would say sysadmin. Sysadmin I would say is more like accounts and things like that. But yeah, pretty freaking awesome. RFX graphics and XFCE only. So let me figure out like what this is all about, because what is like X11 makes sense, right? But I'm just like, what is this? What is this RFX graphics? I've never heard of that. So remote FX, Microsoft's RDP graphics codec family. Oh, no kidding. I would not have guessed that. In XRDP, it's one way the server compresses and sends the desktop images to Windows remote sessions, essentially, or Windows RDP. When you RDP in, Linux session draws into an XOR buffer. So it encodes it, sends it over the network. GFX is like how it's encoded. Advanced graphics. And this is the one I was talking about. I think Fedora defaults to this. Oh, so it's like a codec. Okay, so that makes, you know, that at least gives me some context on that. Very cool. Nice. Okay. Well, that's pretty solid. I mean, you know, we're running XFCE, and we're like, I don't know. Let's see, desktop settings. I'm wondering what other assets they like threw into the wallpaper. Just rockets galore. And because yeah, it's kind of interesting, like which themes did they like throw into here, right? Yeah, I was kind of wanting like originally to do like GNOME on this, so I think that involves a few other things. Like you have to figure out how to get Wayland working in the Docker containers. So I'm gonna just ask this real quick. I don't even know like if I'm gonna try and do like short form videos, because it seems like I would just get off and do like tangents, and it's never gonna be short form. So unfortunately, but I don't know if I'm gonna commit to this, because this might take like 3 hours or something to get this figured out. But maybe on like another video or something like that. But let's just see what's involved to get Wayland. And then I found, I happen to just see on the interwebs something about WSLC, or yeah, it was something about like systemd and container. I can't remember if it was like a Docker specific thing. Containers at boot, you can simply put podman commands into a systemd unit file. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Using systemd as Docker replacement. There was something else that I'd found, but I didn't really look at it. I should have looked at it, because now maybe it was just this forum that I saw. And so, yeah, this is kind of like the consensus, right? It's like, it's not really meant for containers and you should not use it. Let's see what this says. See, I don't like answers like that. Downvote. No, they're just trying to be helpful, but it's like, I just want it to work, you know? Like, I'm like, I don't really care if it's practical or not. Like, it's like, I want to do it. So let's figure out how to do it. There's probably a downside. Like, okay, so Wayland and Docker and RDP from Windows like today. What? It's not even barely English. What does that even mean? RDP from Windows like today. Oh, so it's talking about XRDP is not, it's an X11 Xorg protocol, or it's like a service that uses the older version of the window manager. So that makes sense, right? I'm not like shocked by that at all. So let's do real or pass through. I don't really care about that. Nested, Wayland on Wayland. Wayland is a protocol. So yeah, we need to do systemd. So what I want to do too is on this, so we have a working repo, right? We don't want to like mess with this right now. So keep current design. Accept privileged secret. Add Wayland only if you need to test Wayland clients. Let's branch this. So I'm going to just say create new Git branch for Wayland Jennings. So let's get that going. So I'm going to just kind of let this cook.
Thanks for watching Tim Sonner. Like and subscribe for more. God bless. Mwahahaha ha.